What a lot of people who have severe anxiety or depression don't take into account of is the power of their own energy. You see, um, someone with severe anxiety, or just there's some people out there that just have a very strong energy, whereas a normal person can walk in a room in a bad mood and people can either not notice it or dismiss it. However, someone with a strong energy can walk in a room and their energy can affect the entire landscape. So if you're feeling down, it's going to bring everybody else down. If you're feeling happy, it's going to uplift everybody. So in turn, you can be the life of the party or you could be everybody's enemy, and people can pick up on your energy right away, especially if it's negative. So you have the burden of that. It's not your fault. You're a human being just like everybody else. Everybody's bad moods, everybody feels bad, but you have the burden of being able to affect other people because of your energy. Now that's a gift and a curse. And what I realized with myself is that a lot of people who have that very strong energy don't know the power they have. And they don't know how to control it. That's why they get anxious. You feel like you feel the heat. You feel like all eyes are on you. You feel like everybody's watching you. You start to get nervous around people, and it's only because you're carrying around an energy so heavy that everybody can just pick up on. But it ain't that they out to get you or they not even worried about you. It's just that when you cross their path, they can pick up your energy. Whereas if you were a regular person, they won't even pick it up. And especially if it's somebody you got to see every day or people that's close to you. So the only remedy to that is to manage it. Now, when I was going through a real bad depression, one thing that took me a while to come to terms with, and I coach a lot of people through this, is the fact that deep down inside I didn't really like myself. Years ago, when I was going through it, I would have never told you that was the case. I didn't think that was the case. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know why I was feeling the way I was, but it really was because I didn't like myself, And I discovered that because whenever I would go out drinking and stuff like that, I got in this mindset where I really didn't care what anybody thought about me, But when I was sober, that's all I thought about. And the only reason why I thought about that, what do they think about me? Oh, what are they saying? The only reason I thought about that is because I had extremely low self-esteem. So what I realized was that there were just negative thoughts that would repeat over and over in my head. Oh, you're a bum, you're nothing, you're a piece of shit, you're a bum. And people would treat me that way, but it's only because that's the way I felt about myself. And I was trying so hard to hide that it caused the anxiety. So, and it made me think about this recently because of my 3-year-old, my daughter. But I thought about this before I even thought about having a kid. And I said, when we're kids, you get a pat on the back for everything. For learning how to walk, for fucking saying the word right. Everything is a gold star and a pat on the back. Problem is when we become adults, we lose all that, Things that we should be patting ourselves on the back for. We're kind of saying, well, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. But give yourself credit. So I said to myself, all right, you don't like yourself, man. You're walking around saying all this negative shit about yourself constantly. Okay? Flip the script. And what I did was, every time a negative thought came in, I flipped it around to something positive. Nah, you're a piece of shit. Nah, you're the fucking man. You're the fucking dude. You're the fucking man. You're the boss. That's what I would say. Right? Now, what I did was, and I challenge all you guys to do this, I did something called the mirror. I called it the mirror challenge, right? At the time, when I discovered this, 24 years old, I didn't like looking in the mirror, as I didn't like. So I said, you know what? Every time you pass a mirror, reflection in the glass, in a car window, in a puddle in the water. Take a second, look at it, say something positive. You gotta do it. You brushing your teeth, stop, look up, you the fucking man. You're the fucking man. And I learned this from this guy I work with. Now, it was funny because he had a very high opinion of himself, almost to the point of delusions of grandeur. Okay? But I noticed how people reacted around him. They knew he was full of shit. Half the shit came out of his mouth was a lie. Type of guy talk himself up about everything. But they enjoyed his presence. And, you know, one girl that we work with, I seen her, she, you know, had her hair done. She was looking real nice. I said something to her, just something simple like, oh, you know, your hair looks really nice today, you know. And she just kind of gave me like, whatever. And he came along, you know, a couple hours later, said literally the same thing. Her whole face lit up. And I said, oh, that's fucking great. Right? Now, here's the thing. Now, here was the major difference. When I said my compliment, she could tell it was forced, felt like I had to say it, and that look she gave me was a reflection of how I felt on myself. It was bouncing off of her like, I don't want to hear that from you. You look at yourself every day and say you're a piece of shit. Your compliment means nothing to me. This guy, he got so used to pumping himself up, feeling good about talking good about himself, that he was in turn able to make other people feel good about themselves when he complimented them. Because it became such a natural thing to do that the words flowed out very well. And he was really, really good at it. And I actually learned a lot, and I learned a lot about selling from this guy. Just watching him. And I said, that's the difference. He believes he's exuding just this positive energy because he feels so good about himself that it's pouring out of his pores. So when he says something positive to somebody, you got no choice but to fucking embrace it and love it. You know, it's much different from getting a compliment from somebody who's really in a bad mood and fucking hate themselves. I don't want that energy on me. Fuck out of here. So I said, you know what? Let me practice that. Let me get used to complimenting myself. And let me see if that makes a difference in how other people see me. Right? Because I felt that at the time people had a low opinion of me, but in reality I had a low opinion of myself. So let me try it out. And the crazy thing is, I specifically remember using the word boss. I don't know why. Maybe, you know, every guy likes that. So I look at him and I'm like, yo, you're the fucking man, you're the boss, you're the shit, you're handsome, you're great, you're smart, that's what I would do. Just got used to it. And it's crazy because I remember one day, you know what I mean, I was just running a lot of errands. And I was actually, you know, at the bank getting some money out. And, you know, the guy at the bank was like, yo, anything else I could do for you, boss? I was like, nah, I'm good. Nah, it was cool. And it was all day. People was using that word. Yo, you good, boss? Yo, boss, anything else? I was like, oh, shit, it was great. And the thing is, like, even my friends, it's just regular conversation, the word just came out, and it was like, yo, that shit works. I was like, people never use that word. Like, and you might look at this and say, oh, that's nothing. That's just a colloquial everybody uses. Nah, but the way it was happening, it was just like, this is the turnaround. Okay, finally, I'm starting to realize that what I see about myself, other people are starting to see. You know? So that's how you turn all that around. Number one, come to terms with whatever your shortcomings are. And number two, just rewrite the script. Just reconfigure whatever negative shit you're saying about yourself in the back of your head. Reconfigure it, make it positive, and I'm telling you, it makes all the difference in the world.